So, us three, we head towards the Temple of Gond. So we walk through the old city, past the ziggurats, right past the Grand Souk. There's a small passageway that leads up. You guys have taken that before. It leads past the beggar prince's house, or not beggar princess, the merchant prince's houses, and you can see the large doorways of the Temple of Gond. The last time y'all were here, there were gray-robed figures cleaning and doing things like that outside. There's nobody there currently, because it's a little bit late.
Do we have to request an audience with the grandfather, or?
My understanding is we can enter and ask if he is available, and he should see us. He's been here a long time, and he's a very good man. From my dealings with him in the past.
Okay.
All right, so you guys want to enter?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so you guys walk in. As you open the door, it's a very large building. It's these large wooden doors that are kind of covered in. It looks like at one point in the past they were gold, gilt doors. It started to wear a little bit from polishing and things like that, but it's very well maintained. You enter into the building and you can see large pillars that are holding up this large golden dome that you've seen there before. As you begin to enter, you can kind of see in the distance there's an altar, and there are 4 people in front of it, and you can hear arguing voices echoing off this large chamber.
Can we tell anything that they're saying?
Perception check.
Perception.
How far away are we again?
You're probably at this point about 100 feet away.
11.
11. What'd you want?
I add my 2 to her 11.
So 11.
13.
As you move closer, you can't hear it from where you are, but as you move closer, you begin to hear what they're speaking about. Okay. So there are 3 darkly garbed figures, kind of all standing a little bit threateningly towards the older gray-robed man, and you can hear them saying their "Listen, old man, we made the offering. We gave you the ruby. Give us our vision. This is ridiculous." And he just is kind of like, "Save it." You guys walk closer.
Is the bond with him?
I can't. I don't have that
He's uncharacteristically silent.
There's 3. Their back is to us.
Yeah.
And then does the gray robe see us?
Not yet. He hasn't noticed you.
Hi! What's going on here?
Alright, so as you say that, and it echoes off the building, it's like, "Hi!"
How are you?
And everybody kind of turns towards you, and they see all of you standing there, and Toban's kind of just glowering at them. Like,
Manly.
so the 3 that are there, they're like, "Yeah, they're the last of us." And I know it's literally what they say. Yeah, they're like, "We're coming back, and we're getting our vision." And they just kind of walk out, and they storm past you guys, bumping Toban on the shoulder.
I flip them off.
You flip them off. They see it. They notice it.
I flip off both.
They just they're just like
What hand gesture?
scowling at you.
A friendly one, you come back.
Terrible.
What's the name of my guy?
So, do you guys approach the
Yeah.
grandfather? Alright, so as you come near, he notices Toban and gives him a nod of thanks. He looks at you and he's like,
For doing absolutely nothing.
just, "Hey, yeah, you made him aware. Thank you, little one. I sometimes, my visions are great, and unsavory elements attempt to exploit them. I appreciate all of your timely arrival to extricate myself from that situation."
They gave you a ruby.
That they did. An offering to the Temple of Gond is not payment. It is a donation.
So, one giving a ruby mandates you give a vision? Is that how this works? That sounds like a genie thing.
Sometimes a donation to my glorious God and temple will predispose me to beseech my God for help.
So if it make you feel good, you might just get some euphoria. Okay, so
What brings each of you here? Now he's a little bit less grateful.
they call me Dr. Feelgood. We were actually on a quest. We're on a couple of quests actually. We were hoping you might have some answers. Nothing dangerous on your part. We need enlightenment, but hopefully not divine intervention.
All of Gon's help is divine, but it does not need to touch you.
Thank you.
What do you seek?
Y'all's turn.
Taban is
Your turn.
just kind of standing there because
I forgot.
actually, Taban, you guys never explained what Syndra sent you to do.
I don't know what Cinder sent us to do.
You gotta find the
death
Soulmonger,
curse.
man.
She wanted you to
Oh,
stop
yeah.
the death
Yeah,
curse.
the death curse.
He was too busy just like
Can
destroying
you-
her bookshelf.
Yeah,
Give
I
us
was
the-
pilfering.
What is the name of the place we want to go? The Village Go-Go or somewhere?
Or Nanny Poo Poo, the hag.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Where-
Mabal.
Nabala.
Mamala.
We're actually hoping you could tell us about
How to get there?
how to get to Mabala and hopefully how to get to Nanny Poo Poo.
Mabala is quite easy to find. I do not even need to ask the help of my God. I do ask those who visit to donate to my great temple, though. So if you have a small donation, I would love
We'll
to
take it.
assist.
Gold piece out.
1 gold piece.
I don't want this little one to see me.
So you
I don't
place.
No, I'll put maybe 5.
Nate. Waiter.
She touches the hand with 5, then drops 4. Puts it in her pocket.
She is nimble. She's a halfling.
Did you guys say anything out loud about the death curse, or did you?
No.
Yes. No,
I didn't say anything to him about
Did you?
that first.
Because
no,
you
we
said
didn't say.
no.
That's
Okay.
what we're looking for.
Okay, but you asked about
He
Mabala
just talked
first.
about
Yeah.
the
Mabala.
So you place 5 in his hand, and he kind of looks at it and he says, usually the minimum donation we ask for, it's kind of like, those museums where they're like, minimum $5,
Okay.
is 25 gold points.
No offense, but you should say that up front. Clearly, we're not from around here. And I don't want to be rude. I want to help.
My understanding is
Let me
that
help you.
Gon's light should shine on everyone, and that they should be enlightened by their knowledge.
You want the gold or not, old man? I'll give you the gold. Just tell me first.
I'm a bit surprised. I feel like the minimum has recently gone up for some reason.
Don't make me set
It's
you on
almost
fire.
like rudeness is. And so he claps his hands, and acolytes begin to come out of the side chambers and move towards you.
So we're being
Why didn't
intense.
he do that with the black robe people?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
thought we were gonna have
So, wait a minute.
So let me get this straight.
So you guys are like asking him why he didn't do it before.
Yeah.
What?
Were you just waiting on us to come save you? Did you do this?
You very quick. They escalated things very quickly, almost as you have. Unfortunately, I'm not as intimidated. I guess unfortunately for you, I'm not as intimidated with small gnomes as I am of large burly men with knives. So the acolytes are moving towards you very quickly from the side.
You
So
summon an
30 feet.
army for a small gnome, but you can't do that for the pan boss fight. Roll for initiative.
All right, so let's see.
Esteban just
I'm so angry right now. This is what happens when you let me talk.
It's okay. This is an important lesson for every new D&D player to learn, which is NPCs can do many things.
I just wanted to know why he didn't tell me how much gold it was going to cost, so my halfling didn't look like a fool offering a small
That's all
trifling
same
amount.
with it. I didn't know.
Okay, so one of the acolytes,
Hey, come on.
as he gets about within 60 feet of you, I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
What? He's going to try to seduce me, isn't he?
Wisdom.
Man.
20.
It's a 20. All right, so you can feel this magical kind of thing like begin to tickle you, and you can hear like a curse. All right, make another wisdom save.
Wait a minute. Is he trying to control me? Because I'm immune to that.
Make another wisdom saving.
Okay.
Come on, 20 twice.
Negative.
What, this one?
No.
I started 20.
This one's a good.
This doesn't count though. You gotta have it all saved.
It was a 20.
Alright, so you just kind of shake that off and they get a little bit closer towards you, so they're kind of right on top of you now. Make a strength saving throw.
Damn you.
Now you lie.
Now I die. So whatever I get, -1.
Minus 2.
No, -1. He fixed
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
3!
That's more accurate.
Alright, so they grab you and pull your hands behind your back and shackle you.
Whoa.
He's now kind of imperiously looking down on you because you're also shorter than him. So Vaughn this whole time is just aghast at how you guys are treating the leader of the Temple of God. He stepped back a moment to be like, I am not part of this.
It's not my fault he's so sensitive.
Okay, well, maybe we should start over and come back through the door again.
Negative. It's too
Okay.
late.
So
Let us apologize for our behavior. We are new to this.
I'm not aware of where rudeness to clergy is normal, but I suppose that I could maybe be inclined to listen to you further with a sizable donation to my temple.
Yes.
The upkeep, and as you can see, I have many acolytes, and you guys can see now there's about 20 acolytes around me. It is very expensive to pay for their housing and their food, and we provide the robes as well.
The rest of your
What do you have to offer me?
Can I steal his money?
I can mend their
You
clothes.
can go rifle through his stuff if you want. He's restrained at the moment,
It's
so
like-
he's easy
like
to
it's
Hold
this
on,
pocket
give us a
right
second.
here. Keep
Okay.
it slow and steady now. You freaking thief. It's right there.
Okay, so how much?
How much did you have? It was like 25 or
Oh,
something?
I had.
I got a
60.
lot of bits.
No.
Well, because you lost most of it.
Yeah, I did. I wrote down what I recently got.
I think it was like 25 gold. It wasn't a ton.
I got 27 from Charmed and Keep.
Yeah, so he's got 27 gold on
Okay,
him.
27, and I only have 45. I
I've
have more than that.
got 60.
Look,
You're not
with us.
there. Right, so you have 45 and 27. Devon's like, and hands you the rest to make it an even 100. And he's just, why did I say that Martha should leave?
We do get left with 2 half, a gnome and a half one.
So,
You give him 100 gold. He just kind of and takes it, and then he's like, "What do you seek? Is it Mabala? Mabala is a well-known route. Anyone could tell you. Is that what you ask of me?
No.
What do you ask?"
You want me to talk again? I'll talk
No,
again.
no. It's not Navala, it's the other place.
The Death Curse place?
No, the town that has the dragons.
Amaru?
You are having trouble discovering what you need. What are you here for? What brings you to this land?
We're trying to fix the death curse.
The death curse. We need to find out where it's originated and go to the temple. where
So as you say the death curse, he kind of loses that air of like
It's across from
anger and righteous anger that he had with you, and he kind of waves at the acolytes, and they begin taking you away.
No.
What?
We need to keep him.
Well, this is an
I'll make
assault
him
on
kiss
my
your feet.
well,
I'm not above
I'm-
kissing feet.
Yeah, I'll make him rub
he
your
was
feet,
low
kiss
to
your
the
feet.
ground. I could think of something else he could assist us with.
I can
Okay.
mend clothes.
Uh-oh. So
Make him do a penance.
he places his hand on your head, which is now clean, and there's kind of a bright flash of like golden light, and roll a Constitution saving throw.
You get cursed.
No.
No.
Ooh. All right. So so you can write this down somewhere on your paper. You are now considered marked, and you have there's briefly flares like the symbol of Gone, which is like a golden anvil, appears on his forehead, and then
You don't have
disappears.
scab anymore, you just have a tattoo.
And then all of a sudden start glowing out of nowhere.
We're trying to
He looks
speak
down
in
at
the dark.
and he kind of has a smirk on his face, and he's like, "Don't go too far. you will find it uncomfortable if you attempt to leave this land without seeing me.
Okay, you got it.
Alright.
I'm used to being owned.
So now you've got to get one.
They
gold.
unshackle you.
No, we just can't leave until he says it's cool, really.
You guys don't actually know what that did.
Okay.
Ow.
Well, he told me not to
Sorry,
leave.
actually, you can write marked by gone. Okay, so, anyways. So as you say the death curse, he kind of gets a thoughtful look on his face, and who sent you here to investigate the death curse?
Her name. She was old and dying. I think she'd recently been resurrected. Didn't want to die again. She was dying from
Some
the
guy
curse.
with a magic rose
Cinder.
or carpet
Cinder.
or whatever.
Sindra.
I have heard of a Syndra Sylvain staying with Wakanda.
Yes.
She passed near our temple before.
Yes.
She believes that the death curse lies in Cholth.
Yes. The center of Chol. In the jungle.
I have not sensed anything from my god of this. This is a worthy question. Give me a moment. And he begins to, he kind of closes his eyes and he begins to think on it, and his eyes open and his pupils are gone. It's just white in his eyes.
Quick, take his body.
And he just stands there. One of the acolytes comes forward and tells you, while the grandfather consults the guides, it does take time. Come back tomorrow at this time, and he will have an answer for you on this question.
How far away can I go? He told me not to leave him.
No, you can't leave Chol.
I have only seen him invoke the Mark of Gond once before. It was a grisly end for that one. I would suggest not leaving the land of Chult, at the very least, and expect him to be able to pull you when he needs you.
Okay. That works. You guys forget I've had this happen to me by a freaking old god, so I can handle this dude. We're fine.
All right, and he's just kind of silent and standing there, and they begin to like put cushions around him and things like that, and set him down. And this is not something that he takes lightly, which is why he requires the donation. It takes him a whole day.
All right. So, where are you going to go? Back to the inn, and I want to muzzle him.
Okay, so you attempt to kind of clap your hand over his thing. So we'll do a contested dexterity versus dexterity.
18.
You're clapped, man. You're minus 0 now, but she's like +4. So all right, you managed to kind of grasp him to your side and clap that head over his mouth.
Just shut up until we get out of the
Wait,
temple.
am I bigger than her?
No.
No, you're smaller. Okay.
You're
So Vaughn kind of looks at each of you and he's like, "Is this how you normally do business?"
I shrug.
We're not very good at this. I'm just an adventurer, and
I'm recently unpossessed.
I think next time we don't let him speak to the holy man.
And that's
That's
true.
probably a good idea.
Good
It's
idea.
not my fault. He was so rude.
You surprised me. I was going to talk to him, and it was very surprising. He's disquieted by this, but he works as a Zoom now, so he's good. All right.
Alright, so we need to return tomorrow at this time.
24 hours.
24 hours.
And it's like at this point it's like 7:30.
So
I so wanted a hellish rebuke the dude trying to touch me. Oh my god.
You could have as a reaction.
I wanted to, but I was like, I don't want to die here.
Well, no, it's when they deal damage. Is it when they attack you or when they deal damage to you? 'Cause you're dealing
When they
damage.
hit you, I think.
That would
Does
have
it
counted.
require physical?
No.
Or does it could be like
It
them
could be a
trying to
spell.
probe my mind? Because I rolled a 20, I could have been like, burn!
You can tell they were a little bit disquieted by you resisting 2 of their whole person spells. They were like, "What the hell?"
Can't use this.
Let's go back to this old school. Arrow to the ground.
That's how you do it. And the game understands that.
we're
So
gonna make our
Savon
way
kind of
back.
shakes his head as you guys leave the temple.
Yeah. It's like I'm just dragging him to the
All right, so we'll go back to them and then we'll come back to you guys. All right, so you have the attention of Kogo, the beggar prince, and he's waved you forward.
Kogo, so glad to see you. Seems like you're mighty accommodated.
It has been a good year for me. I appreciate Jabal sending one of his best agents to assist me in this task.
Say no further. I'm here. I was with someone, but I think he got lost in the crowd out there.
He kind of looks around and roll a stealth check. Oh, God.
Stealth check. Well, I'm proficient, so 10.
Oh man! All right, yeah, you looked out there. I was thinking it was a 9. I was like, oh shit. He just looks around. Don't worry, I will send someone to find him.
Oh, he'll be all right.
I do not
Well,
want
well,
people wandering around the
It's
top.
probably eating.
Did he ascend the staircase with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was allowed up there.
He kind of motions you over. Come here, you. What does he look like? So the last time you saw him, he was a bronze half dragon.
He looks like a bronze half dragon, though I've never really seen a bronze half dragon. But if I was to describe you a bronze half dragon, it's what he would look like.
He just knows he's being funny at this point.
So he's like, you heard him. Find him.
Yeah,
I'm
you
on
hurry
my
up.
end.
I'm waiting for him. We got an important
That's our-
business conversation.
Yeah,
to
I
take,
get
so-
Yeah.
Okay.
Take
All right.
off.
So we're gonna go back and forth between.
So you guys.
Oh man.
Are you pleased with yourself?
Yes.
Okay. So.
What are we gain from this?
All right, well, actually, let's do yours real quick here. All right, so he sends you out. You pass by the sentinels who kind of do like one of these numbers as you pass, but then just stay there. What do you do? You're on the top thing. You're outside the door. There's the people kind of like on a. They're basically like a large group of them are over here.
Change back into the dragon.
So there's the two. There's the two. So there's a guy running around the corner that way. There's the group of people that are like eating and stuff up here. They're like the inner circle, and that's it currently. So the group over here, nothing, and that's it. What do
I
you do?
want to go try to find a guy that ran on the corner.
Okay, so are you being sneaky? What are you doing? Okay, roll a stealth check for me again.
Yes.
15?
16.
16. Okay. So you creep up to the corner and kind of look around, and you can see this form kind of provides you with. It's almost like you're invisible. You're not invisible, but nobody's paying attention to you. You peek around and you see the same figure as before, kind of just leaning up against the building, and he's muttering under his breath. He hasn't noticed you yet.
Can I understand under his breath so I can't hear what he's saying?
What languages do you speak?
I have no clue.
You speak Infernal. You
Yes.
speak Common,
What about this one?
and I don't think he speaks Abyssal.
Urban.
I think you speak Infernal and Common, and I think you got one more language from being a rogue, but I could be wrong about that.
Gutter
Yeah,
speed.
you
Go
can.
to background. Yeah. I got
Slang.
thieves can't. So.
Word.
The
Yeah.
thieves can't. Okay. You don't understand the language he is speaking in.
Oh. But he's pissed.
I'll tell you, it kind of sounds like it's kind of like hissing noises, kind of.
Just straight up your cover.
Yeah, it's like it kind of sounds like stuff rustling together.
No, I don't.
All right, you gonna do anything else?
He doesn't seem.
Put a
Don't
hole.
know this music.
Put a hole in your
Sticking
tongue.
out with him.
Yeah, hold on, let me change this.
Speak parcel tongue.
We're in a tavern celebrating.
What?
I know, right? That's just a little bit too happy.
Huh. Let's see here.
Creep closer to.
Yeah.
Go around the corner.
Is all his traits, even though he's count, like, so if he looks like he's wearing heavy armor, he's not.
He's not actually. It's so it doesn't hold up to close inspection.
Okay.
So like if he made himself appear larger, if somebody tried to like hit him in the head, it would go right through him.
So stay distance, just don't manage physical contact.
So I just.
How close do you get to him? There's about the building itself is about 50 feet on either side.
Kiss me gently up in
15 foot. I kind of just stand up against the wall.
All right, so you stand up against the wall.
Kind of like doing on the front. You know,
You can see him. He was whispering into something that was in his hand.
Ooh.
He stops talking, puts it in his pocket. And as he does that, he looks around, sees you, and kind of jumps for a second, and then he like freezes.
We got a narc, boys.
Because he's seen your kind around here before, but he's wearing the same garb as the others.
I don't do anything. I'll just stand there. I kind of turn my head towards him and then turn back.
And he kind of just like nonchalantly tries to like he's like walking towards you, but like to the side of you. So you're like up against the building, and he's like walking this way.
He's trying to avoid me, or
He's trying to get out of your sight.
okay. So I let him get away.
Come on.
Okay.
Why don't you reach out and grab
He
him?
he walks back around the corner that you came from.
Well, wait a minute.
Mom, why would you do that?
Well, to do what?
Why did you let him get away?
Because it could be the friggin' beggar princess person talking in there. I don't know.
You could just be like, yo, dog, I'm looking
I can
for
do
a
it.
half lizard. Help me out. Look like you're
Okay.
actually busy.
Before he passes me, I want to do it. I have to do an insight check.
What do you want to see about him? What are you trying to see?
See if he belongs there or if he was a spy for somebody else.
Perception check.
Perception.
His name's Mark. He's a narc. You failed miserably.
16.
As he passes, you notice he's human. Something a little bit weird about him. You saw like a flicker. It was like something was different about his eyes. But when you look again, they look normal.
Okay. So
He's hooked on a feeling.
he's he's hooked on a feeling.
Yeah. You are.
Well, okay. So I go back around the building. Go back in the entrance.
When you go back around the building, he's up against his corner again,
Yeah.
but he doesn't look at you this time.
Okay. So I'll go back in the entrance.
Okay. All right. So you go back towards the entrance. When you get to the entrance, the two sentinel guys, they don't move.
Oh,
They don't move. Trying to get back in.
You're supposed to be bringing somebody back.
Oh. Do these creatures talk? Do I know if these creatures talk?
I don't know. Give it a try. Well, no, what are you going to say to them?
I don't know. Do they talk?
You have not seen them. We'll say that you did a perception check there. You have not seen them speak to anyone, and they did not speak to you when you went in.
You need to tell them you're going back in. I need to get back in. Tell them that they're.
Oh, you're set up to fail
Yeah.
so
Oh
hard.
yeah, I know. I'm like, I haven't seen them talk. How do I get back in?
You should have grabbed that little thing and said, "I'm bringing him back in." To the
Grab
beggar
them
prince.
down.
Yep, that's what you should do.
Do they have any kind of special thing, like an emblem
Um,
or anything on them? Or?
You can see they don't really have like, well, it's kind of like an emblem. They're wearing like black leather armor, and on the leather armor you can see 3 raven feathers. And they have kind of feathering on the back of their cloaks.
Okay. Do they have anything that like a signal thing, like the Xanthian?
We don't know.
Nothing that you've seen so far.
You better
So
just keep
I
walking.
turn around. Well,
Follow the snitch.
they don't move. I just walk up. I go over to the food.
So you walk up to the group
I
of
rub.
you walk up to the group of revelers, and as you walk up, they each kind of look up at you expectantly, and you rub your stomach, and they're just like,
What the fuck? Yeah.
"Yes, Doc. What can we do for you?"
Do you want some food?
You want some food?
I hope
You-
you're
you
asking
need-
yourself that.
You need food for the princess.
Yeah.
One moment, and they prepare you a nice platter of food because they know that there were some other people. And they hand it to you, kind of reverentially. All right, so you have the food.
Straight out of a sickle.
I go back to the entrance.
Okay, you go back to the entrance, and the two see the food, move out of the way.
Okay.
You better. Like,
All right, so you
take
go
off
back
your
in with your platter of food, and
Take
we'll
off
stop there. And we'll go back to you.
Take off your disguise.
Are you going to be sitting there eating while?
I need food.
Okay. You rub your stomach. Alright, anyways. Okay, so.
He's hiding behind the pillar eating off the platter, looking around
Alright.
the corner,
Well, let me
listening to him.
You're like a wraith lord. You're sitting there going.
Sloppy Joes.
You should have looked at him like.
They don't know, like, they're thinking, they're like, have they ever asked us for food? No,
I never spoke to him.
It makes sense. I mean,
They're so scared of you. They're just fabricating this fruit.
they're like making it okay in their head. Because who would pretend to be one of the dark ones? I mean, honestly. All right, so all right, so you guys were speaking. He noticed your bishop. He acknowledged that you would come to perform a task for him. And he says, "What do you know of the task that you have been given to help me with?"
Azon said you were having issues with a group that recently came to the city.
The Red Robes. They have begun to take my... I'm going to call them little birds. They have begun to take my little birds off of the street, rendering my ears and eyes useless in some places.
It's like Shoal, you need all the eyes and ears you can.
Exactly. If I am to provide services for your compatriots and others, I need to be able to keep my operations moving.
So what if I was to say that we might have helped you already in your issue?
What have you done, Bishop?
What have you done?
It's not just what I've done, it's what the Zentham has done for you.
He kind of sits back against the chair and smiles, and he's like,
Oh, really?
"What has happened, Bishop? Tell me."
Well, I switch back to my dragon form. I'm coming up with the food.
With the food?
I'm like,
Alright, roll a...
Everything.
Roll, I see, like, because it's a sleight of hand to undo the spell. But we'll just say stealth. We'll just say flat stealth.
because could they see me when I came in the
They're
entrance?
paying attention to him, but yeah, they could. I mean, like, if there's nobody there, they would be looking at the entrance.
Okay.
So, in this case, though, they're kind of looking at him.
What would that be? Stealth.
Stealth.
Stealth. 17.
Okay, cool. Alright, so you managed to change back to your half-dragon, right?
Yeah,
Half-dragon, bronze half-dragon self. And you come up carrying food. Okay.
And I'm eating-
Kogo, this is what a half dragon looks like.
This is what I have to do.
Oh. Is that for me?
Oh, would you like some? It's marvelous food. I mean, it's exquisite.
He takes some from you and puts it to the side, waves over the other four. They kind of like want the tray from you. Do you want to give it to them?
You better give it to him.
Grab one last card.
Let me take this little bit for myself. And there you go.
They just kind of nod at you. They take it to the side. There's a small table, and they begin eating their food as he's talking to the bishop.
Did the Kogo send an emissary to find you? Did they happen to find you?
They did, and they gave me this platter of food to bring back for his guests.
Oh, wow. World's full of marbles.
And caught the lie.
My compatriots are very thoughtful.
Except they're not.
So, in
You know, fucked up now, man.
we just happened to run across a den of these red cloaks by chance.
I've heard of this.
And they would seem like they were corrupting maybe not just normal people, maybe some of your little birds too.
I knew they were taking them. I did not know for what purpose.
To serve out their own deeds, evil, mischievous deeds.
What have you done with them? You cleaned? Are they? Where are they?
Well, I didn't actually wash them, Kogo, but
I'm assuming that they're no longer a problem.
no, they will not bother you nor the Zentham.
Do you have your little birds in here? I mean, in your village here. Where are we?
The ziggurat. You're on top of it.
He doesn't
On
have
top
In
of
the
ziggurat.
old city.
Okay. Do you have your little birds here within your city limits?
Port Neandru has many roosts for my birds.
Right.
They come to me and whisper their dealings into my ears.
So they only speak to you.
I have a compatriot across the way. We keep our realms separate, and in doing so, they shared with me and some of any notions to the other people that are over there, and some of my friends.
So they could be spying on you too.
In the land of spying, as you put it, a dirty word. Sometimes you do have those who are in it for money instead of honor.
Right.
I use the proceeds that I gain to embetter all in the old city. And I expect my birds to try and do the same. I am aware that sometimes you will find that. But we take care of them swiftly.
Just like the Zentham took care of the task you needed us to do.
And I do appreciate that. I must send someone to find proof of what you say. Not that I don't trust you, Bishop, but I would not be doing my job if I did not.
Better mention that page.
So,
I would know, just because I went through said tunnel, etc., I could give him the location of where said dwelling of these red roads were at.
I wouldn't give them. Well, I
Yeah,
can't.
here's what I'll say. So, what the information that
I knew
just
they
to
were
kind of help
in.
us all here, what he was going to tell you that he knew they were located somewhere near the refuse pit.
Well, I would know the back tunnel though, like the way we got there.
Yes, you would. Do you want to tell him that?
Yes.
Okay. So you described that to him,
And the
he's-
innkeeper.
Who is now dead.
that snake.
But
Warrior.
I explained them basically, not in too much detail. I explained it to the point where we went through.
I thought about
the portal.
biting off his head. It looked tasty.
I understand. He was a fat piece of shit. He was one of my helpers, and to find that he has met the proper end is gratifying.
So I explained to him to where we went up to go to the portal, and then when the girl warped out, and then we were left just in an empty room.
I think.
But we knew that from what we gathered from the information from the mercenary, that the red robes were located in that area of town.
And their pockets seem to be deeper than yours, apparently. Someone very wealthy is
They gained much power in the short time they were here. It is concerning. And the tunnels you have told me of, it sounds as if they have entrances near my domain.
Maybe just right outside.
I will send some to figure this out. And so he waves over one of the dark ones, and he just kind of whispers. You guys can't hear it, and he leaves. It will only take a small amount of time. My best servants, very quick. But for now, what questions do you have for me? What can I do for you since you have done such a great task for me without even my help?
The
I feel at ill at ease.
The Zentham have reasoning to seek knowledge in the jungle. And unfortunately, I've been elected by the Zentham to be said bearer of said knowledge. What could you do for us, or for me, and the Zentham to help assist in acquiring knowledge? Because what knowledge the Zentham has, surely your little birds could acquire too.
we were supposed to go to this fort. I'm not comfortable at any fort. I mean, there's
Fort Balerion.
yeah, I'm not comfortable with that fort. But we do need to get to the jungle, and that seems the best course.
I do have some that could help you with this fort. What do you seek there?
Well, we were supposed to meet with a guy over there. I mean, but if you've got
Do I know the guy's name?
Yeah, his name's Toko.
So I'd be like, when he says Toko, it's like Toko.
Toko is a worthy guide. He's one of yours, is he not?
He's been known to run with us, yes.
But if you know of a better one, because we're going deep into the jungle.
I do
on
not.
this quest. We're searching for something.
Looking for love.
It's kind of a what you call it. I can't say it in my dragon language. It's not very common. No, reconnaissance mission type thing is what we're trying to do to see how far these red robes people are. They may have a secret temple in the middle of the jungle. So
I had not heard of them using magic in their pursuits.
Well, I explained to him the
Yeah.
knowledge.
And that surprises the crap out of him. Because he's like, I have not heard of them prior to this, using magic in their pursuits. This is concerning. I can send out the word to have those that follow me follow them. Hearing, though, that at least the criminal element has been taken care of is an ease to my heart.
is there some way we can communicate with you after we leave on our quest to gain knowledge? What's your little bird's fun?
Persuasion.
Yes. 22.
All right. I do not usually give these to those that are not in my employ, but we seem to work well together.
You work well with those. The zipping.
He literally licks his.
Why am I doing this? This just doesn't feel right, but
I have,
My shells are like glistening in the
He-
candlelight.
and this looks familiar to you. He takes out a small stone. This is one of many that I have in my employ. Take this. He hands you the sending stone. You can use it once per day to contact me, and I can also contact you.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, surely information you know you would share with the Zentham, since we did assist you in your issue.
Well, Bishop, this is a business, and
It's a
you have
business.
assisted me in this issue, and I do have payment for that. We agreed upon a price, Jabal and I, and I have that for you here. He waves over one of the people that are eating, and you can hear the clink of gems and gold as it kind of lands on the arm of his chair.
So I grab it.
Well, he hands it to you. Like, dang, man. And you can write down, it's 750 gold points worth of stuff. It's 250 worth of gems and 500 just straight up gold.
So you need to get those gems appraised proper.
Did I have to steal
Alright.
it? More like we did.
All right, so
What is that 2 ways?
we'll say this conversation has taken about 10-15 minutes. The kind of wraith-like figure kind of moves back in and moves close to the ear of the beggar prince and kind of leans forward. And you guys try to hear what they say?
Yeah.
Perception.
13 plus wisdom.
I don't hear anything. I'm still gazing at
15.
I'm watching him
Okay.
where he puts the gold.
It's almost unnatural silence exists beyond that. Because you can't hear anything, not even mutterings. He kind of straightens, kind of gets a sly smile on his face. I appreciate you telling me this truth, Bishop. I think it can lead towards you and I. And you, what is your name?
Liar.
My name?
Ding dong.
They call them ding.
A strange name for a strange.
Dee
I've only seen
Dee.
one half dragon before. The
I
harbor
wanted a
master.
name that didn't take fear.
Hey, he just said the harbor master.
The heart. You see this scale here? This was given.
Oh.
Given.
This was given to me as
To
a
you?
friend.
I'm the one that wears it. What?
And you give it to your lover. It makes sense. A token of affection.
You should have said mule. You should have said your mule. You should have said your mule. That is your lover. So who's on top?
Ding dong. I appreciate the help you have given me and mine.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That stone will be of great use to you.
Thank you.
This
But
is
my-
not yours to keep, by the way. I expect it to be returned when you are finished with it. It is not useful with only one.
Yeah. Look, people I know, they call me
Big ding dong.
Can he only talk to you the way the stone is? Or can he talk to anybody if he knows like he had a stone, will you be able to concentrate on this person?
It's actually more like a speakerphone. Yeah, it's like a speakerphone. Like it's within 20 feet of whoever uses the sending stone, they can hear that. So it's really good for, like spies and stuff to use because they can activate it and then they can hear conversations. So, and if you asked him, he would tell you that because he's giving it to you as a favor.
Since we are friends now, you can call me Sal. All my friends call me Sal.
Sal.
Sal, yes.
Big
It is very different from Ding Dong, but much easier to say.
Yes. The draconian.
It was mispronounced.
Very
Lost in
foreign.
Yes.
Lost in translation.
Bishop, I'm glad you have finally found love in this world.
ding dong.
Warms my
It's
heart.
been so long.
It's been 2 days.
Are there any questions that you have for me? Information I can provide to you? I feel as if I owe you something.
I heard a rumor of some death curse. Is that like contagious or anything? I mean,
I have heard of this death curse in many lands. It seems to only affect those that have come back from death. I do know. Persuasion check. Because he kind of looks like apprehensive to say something.
You better roll big ding dong 20.
big ding dong.
Oh!
10.
It was cold outside.
I've heard that others in the city may be affected. I myself, I have not brushed death that closely.
You have
Oh, so I'm safe. Insight check. And I got, what did I get? I got a 12.
He's keeping something back from you, but he seems relatively honest.
Okay.
No, the Zentham, when they sent us to the beggar princes, did they send each task was different for each beggar prince, or just in general needing to clear?
It was a kind of combined effort amongst the two.
So, like this one beggar prince is Kogo. Does he do more of one thing for the city than the other beggar prince?
Not that you know of. Their organization is pretty mysterious. Like, you know that they have spies everywhere, but you're not sure.
So who's the
how it
beggar
breaks
prince
down.
and the other ziggurat?
His name. Oh, hold on a second. Talor.
So would I know if Talor and Kogo, are they friends? Are they?
I mean, as far as you've heard, they kind of within their own domains.
With this information, Kogo, would it be worthwhile for me to tell Talor, or do you want to handle that yourself?
He's been notified that you have completed the task and received payment,
So all of y'all know that the Zentham.
and we appreciate it. If you choose to speak to Talor, the bridge behind my building, my room, I don't know what it's called, will lead you directly across. If you're crossing from that bridge, you can cross unmolested.
Say what?
He can get across the home to talk to cards. Because he's already on top. He's
So
already
he's
gotten past it.
Talking is the least of the worst.
I mean, I don't really know much about the death curse as a character.
Is there any, can you give us some kind of blessing?
not a beggar's curse. They're not priests, are you?
Can you help fund our adventure?
I think I already did that, did I not?
Was this money not just to the Zentham? Like, is it something I should have to pay back just out of character? Or is it something?
Jobal basically told you that you can keep what you guys got.
Okay.
Like the same thing. Like you still have. You actually have quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
Because you have the 500
Yeah.
worth of gems from before, and
Yeah.
you have this.
Okay.
So you're kind of collecting it, and then at the end, it's kind of like half of his party payment.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
The sending stone is the greatest blessing I can give you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It is a expensive artifact, which is why I need to return it. But the use of it, many pay quite a bit of money for that.
Thank you. And I'm gonna enjoy some more of this great food.
I heard rumors.
So you go over to the other table with the other people and sit down.
When we were in the inn, I heard rumors that maybe these red cloaks had issues with the old god Uptal.
I had not heard these rumors, but what you told me of the dark creature from before. Uptao has not been worshipped in this land for hundreds of years. It is strange to me that now the death curse and Uptao are somehow intertwined. Strange. Very strange.
Maybe Uptal wants revenge on us for all the wrongs that us mortals have done to one another.
It is what he did before. It does not surprise me he would do it again.
So, religion check, what I remember.
You want to see what you know about Uptao?
What he did before? Yeah.
Because we talked about this before too. You don't even have to do a religion check because you would know this. He left the Chult completely. So all of the clerics of Uptao, because that was the only god that was worshipped here, were powerless.
Okay.
So people coming to temples for healing, people coming for guidance, people coming for resurrections, people coming for cleansing of diseases from the jungle, stopped. None of it would work. So that was kind of his. Well, the death curse started you don't know much about the death curse.
I mean,
but you started only hearing things about it a few weeks ago.
Okay.
So when he left and they worshipped, how were they doing resurrection? Is this before?
So
Because these people aren't immortal, and if this happened,
so
years
the
ago.
resurrections would be like anybody if you guys are adventuring and somebody kills one of you, you can be brought back with a resurrection spell. There's a bunch of them. So it's not people that have been alive for a long time. It's affecting undead. It's affecting anybody who's been brought back from death in any way. And the undead scourge that
Bishop,
is all in the jungle
let's not
is affected.
over collegate.
they are welcome.
Yeah, overstay our welcome.
It
is getting late.
Says the guy pigging
Kogo,
out.
we have other
I'm
friends
kind of full.
that we should probably go talk to.
If you go see Talor, tell him that Kogo says your mother. He will know what it means.
Your mama.
Can I do an inside check to see if it's an inside joke or?
Sure.
Or,
No.
You think that he is really giving you an important message that you should go to Talor.
Okay.
This is
You get the impression that it is in your best interest to go talk to him.
Oh gosh.
No.
No.
And he forgets who told him to say it.
I rolled the 17.
For an inside check?
Yeah, it's plus 4.
It's probably
21.
just a stupid joke.
I'm
It's
like-
literally a yo mama joke.
I kind of I start laughing and I'm like, Bishop.
You're like,
Bishop,
we
please.
gotta go tell Talor.
You first.
Can I have my half of the gold, sir?
Your half?
You're
So,
are
at
you
this
a member
point-
of the Zentham? Are you a member of the Zentham?
Yes.
He is.
Oh,
He's okay. Listen, relative. So you would know this. You paid contracts before. You would pay a percent, and typical Zentum percentage is 10.
I'll give you 75 gold.
You don't know how much gold he gave him either. It's just a big old bag of gold.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, thanks, Bishop.
How much gold?
So
is
great.
75.
75. Okay.
Wow, what a good friend.
All right. So we'll stop there for a moment. I'm guessing you guys are walking out while you're having